Okay. All right. Good morning. Oh, it's telling me we're recording. Happy Wednesday. It is the 16th of the month. We are exactly halfway through August. And if you guys know me, you know that means we're going to do rate of run to kick off our morning together. So if you haven't done rate of run with me yet, this is a little practice I like to do. Sometimes I do it daily, to be honest with you, but for sure at least weekly. And we're going to do it on this today. I like to know where I'm at, especially here at the halfway point, and what I'm on track to succeed at, or what I'm on track to maybe fall short of. So this is just a quick way of doing this. You're going to want to log into your cloud. Hopefully you have a second device. If you don't, just take notes on this and you can do it when we're done. But right there on that very main home screen, you're just going to scroll down until you see your business snapshot. Click it so it drops open for you. And then under the qualification bar, you're going to see a current QV in that. And that number is what you and everyone on your team, customers and promoters that have signed up under you, that's the volume that's been created so far. So you're going to take that volume, which I cannot see mine without my glasses, and you're going to divide it by, I'm actually going to have you divide it by 15 because it's early in the morning today. I want to know what we did on average the last 15 days of the month. So you're going to divide it by 15. You're looking at a much smaller number. We are blessed with 31 days in August. So we're going to take that daily average that we just came up with, that smaller number. We're going to multiply it by 31. And now you're looking at a much bigger number. And that number is either making your heart happy or it made like a in your belly, right? This is just the number that if you and your team keep moving at the rate that they've been going the last 15 days, if they continue at that rate, this is where you're most likely going to land. So now, based on this number, you're either doing what needs to be done and you are on track to get to where you need to go, or holy smokes, we need to kick it in gear around here, right? And I don't know, everyone has a different number and a different goal for the month. But the beauty of knowing where you are is you're not going to end the month and be like, oh gosh, I really thought we were closer than that. Like, no, you know what you're on track for. And again, rate of run is not a guarantee by any means. If you're like, wow, my rate of run says I'm going to be 30K and my goal was 12K and whoa, I'm doing so much better than I thought. And you stop working for the next 16 days, you're probably going to be pretty sad. So that's rate of run. Does everybody have their rate of run or know how to get rate of run? You just take your current QV divided by how many days have already happened. That'll give you your daily average, and then you're going to multiply it by how many days are in the month. In August, we are blessed with 31. So you get that extra day for that. Okay. So I want to share with you guys a couple of things that I do in my business every day to make it easy, to be quite honest with you. I'm all about, working smarter, not harder. I, every single morning, and if you haven't already done this, because now that I know some of you are at 6 a.m. where you are, some of you may not have already done this, but every morning I put what I call my hero product in my story. For me, that's my capsules. For some of you, it might be your DFT. For some of you, it might be your shake. But I will tell you the reason that I don't put all 3 steps in my story every single day is because I think that can become overwhelming for someone watching. If somebody's like, man, I think I want to start doing what she's doing, but then they start seeing every day I'm doing all these things. I mean, people would panic if they saw all the Thrive that I use on an average day. And and maybe some of you are newer to promoting and you're like, gosh, I'm getting my 3 steps for free and that's the best thing ever. And it is. I've done this now for 8 years. I'd say I probably consume some sort of Thrive product every hour to 2 hours throughout my day. And I don't want to share that with everybody because I don't want people to think that they have to do that, because would that not turn you off? It would have scared me away for sure. But so I like to share my hero product every morning in my stories. And for me, it is my capsules. And I know I've shared this with you guys, a product of the product. Absolutely, Lindsay. I know I've shared with you guys this before, but you don't have to do it fresh every morning, right? You can have, and I didn't bring my capsules. We're going to pretend like these Post-it notes are my capsules. You could literally right now take a couple of pictures or some videos of yourself and have it ready and have it in your camera roll so that you're ready to share it tomorrow morning. Tonight before bed, I joke, my team laughs at me, but somebody said one day, like, why does your hair look good in the morning? Well, because I did it at night before I went to bed. Like, what's the difference? I'm in my PJs. I'm in my bedroom. The nightstand's right there. So if I film maybe my smiling face with my capsules, that before I go to bed at night and I have it ready to roll in the morning, to me, it's all the same. It's just working smarter, not harder, so that when you wake up in the morning, you don't have to like remember to do it all. But I want to go over a couple things with you. I know a lot of times we will share our capsules or shake or whatever. I'm just going to call it your hero product. So whatever hero product you've done, ask yourself the following. When you shared your hero product, did you throw your link on there? And if you didn't, you're missing the boat. I think I talked about this a couple weeks ago. I highly recommend that you have your Instagram stories automatically go to your Facebook stories. A, because I'm lazy, but B, because if you put a link on your Instagram stories, when it carries over to Facebook, that link is live. So if I'm sharing my link on my Instagram story in the morning, it's also being shared on my Facebook story in the morning. So there's just that much more opportunity for someone to click that link. Right? So if somebody's been curious and they're shy, or maybe somebody just found you and they're like, what the heck is this? They have the ability to click that link. Obviously, that's a good thing for your business, but it's also a really good thing for down the road. Samantha Cox taught us this a long time ago. If somebody, the cookies in your phone and on your computer, when you click that link, so if you go onto my story for the first time you've ever heard of Thrive or peeked on Thrive, and you peeked through my link, let's say 2 years from now, you get back on it, because maybe you heard your neighbor talk about it, your phone's going to take you back to my link. So it's not guaranteed that you'll be my customer or anything like that, but it's going to take you back to my link, which means I have a much greater chance of you becoming my customer. So there's all these different layers with the whole digital world, but please make sure you're sharing your link. And here's the other thing I want to share with you about when you're talking about your products. And I know that it's exciting to say things like, these capsules are full of vitamins and minerals and blah, 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 blah. And they are, and we all know that, and we love them for that. But the average person who's watching your story who doesn't know about Thrive, they just know that they're super busy, or they're incredibly tired, or they don't have the oomph that they need to face their day, or, oh my gosh, these kids are driving them crazy, or, oh my gosh, it's back to school, I can't hardly breathe. When they see you talking about vitamins and minerals, that's going to register a lot of different ways with them. Maybe that's going to be like, oh crap, one more thing I got to add to my to-do list. She's right. I'm not healthy enough, blah, blah, blah. I want you to present your hero product for the hero that it is. So why do you take that product every morning? Just ask yourself that. Like in the morning, when I roll over and I got the eye boogies and I really would just rather stay in bed, why don't I stay in bed? Why do I instead sit up and pop those capsules? Why do I literally say to my dogs, let me get these capsules in my belly first and then we'll talk, right? So for me, it like last night, it could be that the dogs decided at 3:30 that it would be a great time to wake up for some odd reason. So this morning, I needed those capsules because I didn't get as much sleep as I wanted. I need to wake up. Maybe I'm taking these capsules because it's the first day of school and I got to get these kids out of bed. Maybe I'm taking these capsules because I've got this big presentation at work and I'm super stressed out and I know they're going to get me through. I'm taking these capsules because I got to go get my butt in the gym and I don't really want to, but they're going to get me there. Do you see how different that sounds and feels to someone who's reading your story versus I'm taking these because they're full of vitamins and minerals? Do you also feel how much more natural it is for you to say that? Yeah, now Brandy, the jumper cables, but I'm going to tell you this, if you're not a thriver and you hear somebody say, I'm taking my jumper cables, you're not going to know what that means. So if you say, I'm taking my jumper cables, tell them what that really means. What is that doing for you? Like, I'm on this health journey and I need to get my butt up 30 minutes early so I can go for a walk, and these jumper cables are doing it for me. I'm a busy mom of 3 and it's back to school week and I need these jumper cables so I can get up and deal with these kids. Like, let them know, because far too often we use lingo and people don't know what we're talking about. If I had seen someone's story and they talked about their jumper cables that got them to 4K, I would have been like, that might be Chinese, because I don't understand what that means, right? Like, to me, a jumper cable is something you hook to your car, and 4K is it's money. Like, I don't know that means a rank. I don't know that means a T. I have no idea. So please remember, when you're making these stories, when you're taking the time to do this, make them powerful. Talk to the person you want to be talking to. And with that said, I will tell you, I struggle sometimes to come up with great stuff to talk about. And so I have started using the different, the different chat, what are they called? artificial intelligence. There's like Jasper and there's ChatGPT and there's Opus. There's lots of different ones, but I've started using it. Like this morning, let me see, I have to put this up. This morning, I said to ChatGPT, I said, I'm a busy business owner and I take these capsules every morning to get my day started. Rewrite that for me in a 1-sentence compelling caption. And ChatGPT said, okay, fueling my success. 1 capsule, endless possibilities. Mornings made powerful for a busy business owner. First of all, ChatGPT did not listen because that was more than 1 sentence, but those were words that I wasn't coming up with this morning, right? Like endless productivity, that sounds amazing, but that was not coming out of my brain this morning. So if you feel like you don't know what words to use, A, don't wait till the last second. B, sit down. The one that I love that's easy and free is called ChatGPT. It's an AI platform and you can use it, I mean, for everything basically. But I will put in, like the other day, I was trying to make a caption for one of my reels and words are not my jam. People are like, oh, do you know a second language? I'm like, I don't really even know English that well for my first language. So no, I do not have a second language mastered. So I like ChatGPT because I can literally go and say, write a compelling reels caption that talks about why I love working in my garden during the day versus being stuck at work all day. And it'll spit something out. And sometimes it is highfalutin. And I will just literally say less fluffy, less salesy, shorter. Like you can just keep telling it what you want it to do till you get to something that you like. So don't be so hard on yourself. If you're like, you know what, I'm not sharing my hero product in the mornings because I'm too daggone busy once my feet hit the floor, which aren't we? We're all thrivers. And I don't know what to say about it. Okay, well, today, take 3 or 4 pictures of your hero product. It could just be the product. It could be you with the product, whatever the heck you're comfortable with. Sit down with ChatGPT and let it write several captions for you, and then save all that crap in your phone and then move on with your life. Because here's the other thing I hear people say. Well, I shared last week that, I don't know, I shared my capsules last week that I had bedhead and didn't care. Okay, guess what? No one cares. Share it again. We far too often think that people are paying attention to everything we say and do, and they're not. I think I shared it on here. Maybe it was my team Zoom. It takes 35 to 40 touches on digital marketing, digital social media for people to finally click and pay attention. So if you share once a week for the next 30 weeks, the same thing, it might eventually start clicking with someone. So get out of your own way, quit making excuses. If you don't know what to say, let ChatGPT do it for you. If you don't want to take a picture in the morning, do it right now. If you don't have time to do it right now, right? Like get out of your own way, make it easy on yourself. And then keep it all in your camera roll and you could call it your Instagram stories, whatever you want to call it. Or my phone just automatically said, which I think we did this last time too, but make sure you have your Instagram set up to automatically save your stories to your camera roll. Because once you take the time to make a story, then if it's on your camera roll, you can again post it later in the week or a couple weeks later, and or make reels out of that stuff. Okay, so moving along. My hero product. Wow, that took me 15 whole minutes. Sorry, but hopefully you got a lot out of that. The next thing I like to share in my stories is something of like a behind the scenes, because you guys, people are nosy. If you just told somebody that you take your capsules every day because it gets you into the gym, then you better show a little behind the scenes of walking into the gym, your feet on the treadmill, what are they called? It's only been my life's mission for the last how many years? Dumbbell on the floor, right? Like you better say that. And if you say, I just took these capsules because they're going to help me get these kids out the door, you better share a picture of you packing lunches or a picture of the kids walking out, like literally walking out the door. Like follow up. Don't just say it helps you do it. Give them a sneak peek. People are nosy. And just reiterate what you just told them in your thing. So to me, I always have a lot to do and I want to get it done early. And I always share my morning walk on my my story. Okay, let me, what is it called? I have a notepad, stickies on my phone for Thrive post quotes, interaction, business opportunities. Just go through me. Yes. So everyone's phones, or maybe people have different apps, or maybe on your laptop even, or your tablet, there's going to be some version of a notepad or a notes section or something like that. And that's a great place to keep track of all of that. I struggle a lot with my pictures, so I have to go through it every now and then. Polly said, I saw this morning a thriving friend use my pictures of a capsule in their stories. Make it simple, sweetie. She just screenshot it. Yes, again, there are times in this business where you are going to be on fire, right? You're going to be like, I don't even need to wake up and wait because, girl, I'm done. And then there are going to be days where you're like, I don't even know where to start. And it's in those days that you can steal, beg, borrow, and plead from all of your other thrivers. You don't have to recreate the wheel every single time. I say it all the time, but what we're doing here is not rocket science. All right, so if you have not shared your hero product, please do. If you have not shared it behind the scenes, here's a great one for you. Maybe you said you were a busy business owner. We'll show how busy you are. This is a great time to take a picture of the Zoom screen that's in front of you, or maybe you're taking notes and you can prop your phone up and film yourself taking your notes right now, that you can later use in a story and then in a reel. There's that funny, it used to be a popular sound, but it's like everything is content. Danielle used to sing it to us, but you guys, it's legitimately true. Everything is content. And what is probably the most boring content to you is the stuff that people want to see the most, because again, people are nosy. Okay, so I'm going to be quiet for a little bit. I have a goal every day of going into Facebook and into Instagram, and I ask 5 people a question. So for me, the easiest way to do that is to go into stories. I will literally watch their story and I will think of something to ask them. Maybe they're on a hike. What trail are you on? Or maybe they're, I'm just going to stick with one topic. Maybe they're on a hike. Where did you get those? Or what are those new shoes? I've been looking for a new pair of shoes to hike in. Or, girl, you're by yourself on this trail. You're so brave. Are you carrying mace? Like, I don't know. I'm just making stuff up as this rolls. But I'm going to go in, I'm going to find 5 people in Facebook to ask questions to, and I'm going to go into Instagram and find 5 people. So again, for me, it's stories. If you're not into stories and you want to scroll really quick, but it's 9:18. So I'm going to give us about, I don't know, 6 minutes. We'll do 6 minutes. So get curious.
Tammy, will you repeat the task, please? I'm sorry, I just got a phone call.
Okay, we're going to go into Facebook and ask 5 people a question, and we're going to go into Instagram and ask 5 people a question.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Shoot. Okay, while you guys are working on this, just for those of you that are overthinking it right now, because I know you're out there, I'm just going to read you some of the questions I just sent to people. So in the story, this one girl shared a funny picture of her kid. I gave her ha 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 in the face or whatever. I said, when did the kid start school? Easy question. This girl posted a picture of her grand kittens. And I said, oh my gosh, they're so cute, boy or girl. This girl said she went to a car show this weekend and she went straight to the coffee truck. I said, oh, where was the car show? This girl put a picture of her daughter up in her soccer uniform. And I said, oh my gosh, what a great picture. Is this her senior year? And I literally don't know what year she's in, so whatever. This gal shared a really delicious looking recipe. And I said, that looks incredible. What's the recipe? So you can see, like, when you're asking these questions and you're being curious, it's not rocket science. Again, we're just getting conversations started with people. So don't overthink it. Keep asking questions. I'm delayed here, so I got to get jiggy and keep asking questions. I will say this is also a really great time to pay attention to how many thrivers are you following. If they're showing up in all these stories where you're trying to ask questions to non-thrivers, you might need to unfollow some people. Okay, I realize I'm at my 6 minutes, but I'm not done, so keep going. Okay, all right. So I just asked 5 very simple questions to people on Instagram and 5 very simple questions to people on Facebook. So right there, we just knocked out 10 reach outs to people. Now, have they responded yet? No, but did we ask them simple questions that they will respond to? Yes. Right? And it wasn't awkward. It was very natural. And here's what's happening in that process. You are connecting with them. So now Instagram or Facebook is like, oh, hey, they've connected. When they respond, Facebook and Instagram will be like, wow, they really connected. That person's going to start seeing more of your stuff. You now know something on a human level about that person. I'm going to get a delicious recipe from this one gal. I'm going to find out where a car show was that I missed, to the gal that really wanted to go to the coffee truck first. Obviously, I'm going to eventually try to bring myself into her coffee life, right? There's just little things like that that you can do that, again, make this business simple. It doesn't have to be crazy, crazy hard. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go into groups. I'm going to encourage you guys, excuse me, I just hit puberty. I'm going to encourage you guys to go into one group today and comment on 3 posts that are already existing in that group. So answer a question, give a compliment, or my favorite, ask a question. So if someone has posted something in one of the groups that you follow, and again, I'm not going to all my groups, I'm going into one group, and I'm going to look for 3 posts to comment on. So that should just take a couple of minutes. So pick whatever group it is you're wanting to go in. All right, so I did my 3 questions really quick there. I'm in a gardening group, shocker, right? This guy says his hardy pink chia elephant's about to bloom. I said, hey, will you please share the bloom when it opens? I don't think I've ever seen one of those. So I'm asking him a question and also for a follow-up conversation. This guy was talking about his ground cherries. I said, what would you compare that flavor to? Because I've never had a ground cherry. This person asked a very extensive question about some timing with some planting. And this one man hopped in here and gave us all a master class in what this person asked. So I just basically said, hey, thank you so much for all this information. I can't wait to try it. So I asked 2 questions and I gave a compliment just in a group, but now I'm active in that group, right? You got to be, it's called social media because you need to be social. It's all called selling media. We're going to sell on the outskirts, but we're going to be social in the middle. Now, the next thing I want to ask you guys to do is to go into your customer group. I know we're from lots of different teams here, and everyone has lots of different customer groups. Like you belong to one. So I'm going to go into my customer group. I want you to go in whatever customer group you belong to, and I want you to find a post to, again, comment on. Is there a way to turn up the volume? I can barely hear. On me, you can't hear me? Natalie can't hear me? I feel
I
like
can hear you fine. So Natalie,
Okay.
just turn your volume up. That's probably what the problem is.
Thank you. Love that. Build connections. Know, like, and trust. Absolutely, Sammy. Know, like, and trust. And you guys, one of the things I've struggled with, I'll be very honest with you, that I struggled with for years when it came to this business is I felt like I needed to know everything and I needed to be so smart. And I needed, like, if I was going to talk to people in a gardening group, I better be the smartest one in the group, because why else would they want to buy something from me if I'm not the best? Well, people don't like that. That's not, the more I show up in the garden group and say, hey, how do you do this? Or, hey, what's that about? Or like people like to teach and people like to understand that I'm not the smartest and I'm not the best, but I want to learn. And that's how people will build rapport. And so I'm just constantly, I just ask a lot of damn questions, which is funny because when I was little, I was the kid that was like, why? And my dad would tell stories about how I drove him nuts. But that whole why is really coming in handy as an adult. So anyway, refocus. Go into your customer group, whichever one it is that you belong to, find at least one post to comment on or ask a question or give a compliment. And I know our particular customer group, we have like people from we have promoters that contribute. And so I will look at their post, but if we have customers that have gone in and made a post or customers that have made a comment, that's the ones I'm really going to look for first, because I want to encourage that activity. So just get in your group and go where the wind takes you. And this is just really customer service, or this is being a team player. Because when you go into your customer group and you ask a question or you make a comment or whatever, you're just keeping that group going and keeping it alive and keeping it active, because it's really easy for a group to die on Facebook. You might have, like, we have a content calendar where people are assigned a day and they're assigned the topic, and somebody could go in and make a post every single day, but if there's no interaction, that group is going to die. So this is just our way of doing that. Okay, next up is when I like to do my birthdays. I prefer to make a post on their wall, like a quick happy birthday, and I don't know why, but I have felt this way for years. I always like to say their name, and I think it's because when it's my birthday and I'm reading through people's messages to me, if it just says HB, that's my favorite. Or it says happy birthday, that's nice. But when somebody's like, happy birthday, Tammy, or hey, Tammy, I hope you have a great birthday. I don't know, but that just feels different to me. So I make sure and do that for people. So for those of you that don't know how easy it is to do, you're going to be in Facebook. You can hit the search bar at the top, type in the word birthdays, and they're going to all pop up for you. Oh, I only have 3 today. Huh. All right. Again, when you're making your post or you're leaving your message, and there's lots of birthday scripts, everyone does this a little differently, but again, I try to end with a question. What are you doing to celebrate? Or like, maybe, like, I know this girl, she just came back, like, how was your birthday celebration? She went on a little trip for her 50th. I'm going to end it with a question of some sort, again, because I want people to talk to me. That's all I want. I'm gonna give you guys a couple more minutes to do that. Like I said, I only had 3, so that was pretty quick for me today. Oh, the girl already just sent me her recipe that I asked for. And it is that girl's senior year. See, people are talking to me. That's why you gotta ask questions. Okay, while you guys are working on your birthdays, I'm gonna just start talking. I know you're shocked. This is the halfway point of the month, so I like to make sure to go through my customer list. I like to make sure that I have, like, I already have my, what do I call it? My tracker. Wow. My tracker for my auto ships. So I want to make sure I'm talking to people who have upcoming auto ships. I also want to make sure I'm thanking people who have auto shipped. Last month I did thank you cards where I threw in a little packet of Rebuild. No, I'm a liar. Of Circulate and Pink Pro. So I sent those out to my people. So this month, I like to mix it up. Plus I'm lazy. This is like the theme of today, being lazy and making stuff easy. I actually have more credits than normal this month because I don't even remember at this point what it was, but there was a promo last month where a couple of my customers really stocked up. So I just went through and sent all of my auto shippers, including a couple that dropped off last month, a little message, and it just said, I received an unexpected gift, so I'm passing it on to you. I put $25 in Thrive credit on your customer account. It'll be applied towards your next auto ship order. Hope you're having a great weekend. Or, oh, I did say weekend. Hope you're having a great week. I'll have to fix that. But that was just a super easy way to say thank you to them for being an auto shipper. And then the two people that dropped off, this is my way of reminding them that I would love for them to get back on auto ship. And if they don't use those credits by the end of the month, I will just pull them back out now that we have that ability. It's so awesome that we have more control over our credits these days. So I don't know, maybe you don't have enough credits to do it for all of your auto shippers. Well, who are your biggest, best, most loyal auto shippers? Treat them to something. Glenna says, figure it out together approach. Sammy suggests vulnerability is hard, but it's what makes it relatable. Yes. Yeah. So again, it's just asking those questions and just putting yourself out there, which I know can be scary for people, but it's so important. So maybe you're going to do a thank you card this month. Maybe it's just a handwritten card. You may not even have product. You guys, a handwritten note, the samples or the DFT or whatever, that's just icing on the cake. People are elated when they get something in the mail. Let me read to you. This is one of the people that I did mail a thing out. She says, girl, your note and patches in the mail were such a welcome gesture. You guys, I just threw, it's her and her husband. They auto ship every month together as a couples pack. I just threw one each of the Duo Elite. Just, that's all I threw in there because it's easy to mail that way. She's like, your little note and patches in the mail were such a welcome gesture. What a ray of sunshine on an otherwise crappy week. I didn't know she was having a crappy week. We have had to seek out any kind of happiness, and along comes that bright light envelope. Thank you for thinking of us. I hope you're doing well. Also, shine on. I didn't expect that. I didn't know, but that's what a thank you note can do for someone. Like that was, she called me a ray of sunshine for heaven's sakes, because I mailed her a DFT. So don't overlook the simple handwritten note. To her, I think the note meant more because I just said nice things and they're like, I'm so happy that you guys are feeling better and that we're thriving together and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I always like to do that. Now, how do I know who to send them to? For those of you that aren't sure, you'll go into your cloud, get back in here. You're going to go to the menu, my team, go to my customers. And for this particular, for my thank yous, I go to where it says last order and I click that button twice and it just pulls up the most recent orders. And so I like to make sure I'm thanking my most recent people. And then from there, like, so you've got that bit of information, right? And then the next thing I do is I go all the way to the far right. I click next auto ship twice. That populates it by order. So now I can see who I have upcoming for the 20th and the 25th of the month for their auto ship. So now I know to make sure to write them on my reach out list, my follow-up list, not my reach outs, I'm sorry, my follow-up list. Let's do that right now. So pull up your upcoming auto ship names if you don't already have them written down. And let's just send them a quick message. And again, the message doesn't have to be about Thrive. Go to their Facebook or their Instagram or whatever, see what's going on in their life. There's actually this one girl, she's a super challenge for me. She's not on social media of any kind. So I always just have to kind of send her a message. Brandy says 2 new accounts and 2 samples sent out just now. Well, damn girl, way to go. It's only 9:40. It's 6:40 where you are. Way to go. You're busy. Is that from a question that you asked or a post that you made, or don't gatekeep, girl? Tell us what you did. A post I commented on. Wow. What a time to be alive. We're commenting on posts for selling stuff.
Somebody was saying that they needed to go to the coffee shop. And I said, yeah, I bypassed that by reaching on my nightstand every morning. And they hopped in my inbox and said, what's on your nightstand? And so I explained to them. And then they said, well, how do I get that? What's the catch? And I said, nothing. Samples are free.
And just like that, Brandy taught us the best lesson this morning. Thank you, Brandy, for making Wake Up and Win even better. Yeah. So she just commented, you got to be bold. You got to put yourself out there. And she didn't say to people, ooh, coffee's gross, or ooh, why would you do that? Or ooh, it's so bad for you. She's like, yeah, I just bypassed that. That's almost like saying I got a hack. I know a better way. And then she just opened it up for them to ask the questions and made it super easy for them to get a stamp. I am so proud of you, Brandy. Yeah, heck yeah, way to go. All right, so I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to go through your upcoming auto ships. We only have the 20th and the 25th left, 20 and 25th left, and shoot them a quick message. Here in my little neighborhood that I live in, all the schools are going back. So it could be as easy as like, hey, saw you got the kids on the bus today. How are you doing? What grade are they in? Who they get for homeroom? Are they playing soccer this year? Like whatever, ask questions. Just connect with your auto shipper, get a conversation started. And then before you let the day in, oh, hey, I'm so glad we were chit-chatting earlier today. That reminded me to check. You're on my auto ship list for the 20th. Last month we did strawberry. Do you want to stick with that? Just something simple, something customer servicey, but I don't start with that because I don't know. I like to be these people because I want them to, again, I want people to talk to me. I don't know. I seem very needy when I say that, but whatever. All right, guys, you can keep working on that. We have 15 minutes left and I have 2 things left I want to do with you today. We're going to be working a little bit in Instagram. I want you to start harnessing the power that is already in your Instagram. So if you will, if you're able on a second device, go to your page, like your homepage on Instagram. And in the bottom right-hand corner, you're going to see your little face. Click it. That'll take you to, wait, I did that wrong. Yeah, no, I did that right. Okay, I jumped ahead, sorry. So click your little face in the bottom right. That'll take you to your actual homepage. And in the upper right-hand corner where you've got those 3 lines, you're going to click that. That's going to drop down all sorts of stuff for you. I want you to hit archive. Okay, some of you know this, some of you don't. Instagram archives your stories. Now, maybe that's a setting. And so if some of you hit archive and you see nothing, let me know. But it saves your stories into an archive. And so I can literally start scrolling and there's all my stories and I'm a story fiend. I story all day long. So there's a ton. At the top there, and phones might be different, but at the top there in the middle, you're going to see a calendar looking sign. If you are looking for like specifically for something that you want to see again, use again, like maybe you're like, you know what, I remember taking a really great story one morning in Denver back at Thrive Palooza, and I want that clip for a reel. You can go in and you can scroll till you find the dates that were in April, whatever they were, I forget, but you know what I'm saying. That's there for you. And because it's archived, So I'm just going to pull up. Does anybody remember what the dates were for Palooza? Oh, okay. I got lucky. I clicked April 21st, and it is me sharing my morning capsules at Thrive Palooza and then going for my morning walk. What I tell you, I always share my morning walk. Now that I can see that, I can click the bottom there where it says more. It's got the 3 little buttons or dots. I can click more and I can save that back to my camera roll if I want to. Okay. And so then I have that again to make a reel out of. But this is a great audit. Yeah, for sure. But here's why I want you guys to do this with me today. How many of you on your homepage have, they're called highlights. So, there's my face and down here I have highlights. I had some really random, weird highlights. I'm just going to be honest. Mine weren't that great. I'd never really taken the time. So I actually went through, I deleted all of my highlights. And then I decided to make a highlight called Thrive Life, where I share snippets of my Thrive community. Well, I've been doing this for 8 years. I don't have all those pictures on my phone anymore. So I went into my archive and then I knew we went to Cabo in February of 21. I knew we went to, I forget, maybe Fort Worth in April of some, you know what I mean? Like I knew things would happen. And so I would go in there by date and I would find them. And for instance, let me go to my Thrive Life. Here's a picture of my team in front of the stockyards in Fort Worth. Here's a picture of us cheersing or a video cheersing at Thrive Palooza. Here we are at some honky tonk in Fort Worth. Here's a video of my car and I'm talking about my Thrive Life. Here's a picture of my sister getting her second Cadillac for her auto bonus. Here's us at a local. So I just went through my archived stories and I found things that matched the theme of Thrive Life and I added them to that highlight. I just put them in that highlight. So now if somebody goes to my page, there's obviously that highlight, but here's the real reason I did all of that. Once you have a highlight, if you click on the little button and you go to the bottom where the 3 dots are, and then there's a send button, and then next to that, there's a create. It looks like a film director's thing. If you click create, Instagram's now going to take all of those stories from my highlight and it's making a reel for me right now, and it's syncing it to a sound. Wonder if I got volume.
We know how to get down. Tell me time. Been waiting all year for what's coming now. Tell me time.
So those are all my clips that I deemed Thrive Life. Instagram was like, oh, it's already in a highlight. Let's make a reel of that highlight. It picked a song. If I don't like that song, I can say, no, try this song instead. And it's going to resync the clips to that highlight. And that's cute too, right? Like I just made a reel from my highlight that shows my community. That was not brain surgery, right? It did it for me. Now here's where you are going to have to think. Who do you want to talk to about that reel? This is where I would go to ChatGPT and say, I'm a former brick and mortar entrepreneur who has now decided to do online business because I love the freedom and the travel and the community. And I would say, ChatGPT, write a quick, compelling caption for my reel. And it's probably going to come up with something that I don't like the first time. And I'm going to say less salesy, less fluffy, more direct, shorter, whatever. And I'm just going to keep picking at it until I get something that I feel like I can work with. So I let Instagram make the reel. I let ChatGPT make the caption, but I had to pick what things went into the highlight. I needed to know what my thought process was if I'm going to share my community with someone, right? And so I'm going to also have a highlight of product, like my hero products, which again, that's easy because that's my morning capsules. But that's a great reel to have where you can just talk about your morning, like the caption can actually talk about your morning routine and why it's so important to you for your busy mom or your busy business owner or your busy travel, whatever your jam is. So again, I just want to share with you guys these hacks because I overthought it for way too long, for way too many years. And so I was constantly trying to make these beautiful reels, which if you pay attention to the reels you're watching, when you're consuming, you're not really watching because they're beautiful, they're catchy, or they're going by fast, or the song is really good. And sometimes people are like, caption below, and you click the button and you start reading the caption, right? So don't overthink it, but make sure that when you take the time to catch someone's interest and you catch someone's time, talk to the right person. Like, make sure the caption is talking to the right person. You can go in and say, ChatGPT, I need to tell a busy mom that this community is what lifted me up out of a dark place and helped me find my way in the online digital world, which sounds totally horrible and weird. And I would never make that as a caption, but I would say, GPT, make that compelling. And it's going to come up with other words for you. So again, you don't have to know it all. You just have to be resourceful. You got to know where to look. And since we have exactly, I'm going to discard that reel, although I'm probably going to go back and actually make that, because that was really cute. I have a challenge for you. And this is a challenge that I got from the training that I did that Tiffany and I don't know if Tiff's on here today, but Tiffany and I did a training a couple weeks ago. And one of the challenges was to sit down with your camera, click the record button, and do quick 1 minute or less frequently asked questions about your product, about your business. Thank you. That's a hard word. Your product or your business. And so I just sat down outside one afternoon on my patio and I just turned on the camera, and I look awful. I've got a ball cap on. It's bad. But I just said, the number one question I get asked about Thrive is, do I have to buy all 3 steps? And I just very quickly said, no, it's America. You don't have to. No one can force you to, but they're made to work together. And if you decide to not buy them all together, we can't guarantee you're going to feel as amazing as you would. Right? A short, simple, frequently asked question. So I took that and I made it into a story so that I could then save it to my frequently asked highlights. Right? So your stories can be saved as highlights. So I filmed the clip, uploaded it as a story with captions. Always use your captions, you guys. People are at work, they're very busy, but they are playing on social media. So let them read what you're saying, because they can't actually listen half the time. Uploaded that as a story. And then I took that story and made it into a reel. And eventually I'm going to have a frequently asked questions section highlight on my Instagram of frequently asked questions about my products and my business, so that when somebody does find me from, say, a gardening video, or maybe like I put out, I think one of the funniest reels I've ever made, I made last night. The sound is hilarious. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor and go watch it and steal it and use it for your own, because it's so funny. But somebody might find me from that and think it's funny or be intrigued, and then they can go to my page and see frequently asked questions. Maybe in their mind, they're wanting to know, do I have to buy all 3 steps? Maybe in their mind, they're wanting to know, how much does it cost to become a promoter? Maybe they want to know, is the lifestyle mix a protein shake? Like, just go through your mind. I actually put it on my team page. What are the most frequently asked questions you get about Thrive? And people told me. And so if you're on my team, go to that post and you can find all these frequently asked questions. And then just do your best to just be very natural and just give a very short, sweet, simple answer. Because remember, this is going to be a story and it's going to be a reel. And I will tell you, from paying attention to my reels, insights, they call them, where you can see like how many people watched it and how long they watched it. My audience seems to lose interest with absolutely everything that I share at the 6-second mark. 6 seconds. That's it. It could be a 20-second reel and it could have 1 million people that have watched it, but the majority of them have not made it past 6 seconds. So from that, am learning to make stuff shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. Right? So that's my challenge to you. What are your top 5 frequently asked questions about your product or your business that you can jot down right now on a sheet of paper? And just when you get a quiet few minutes that you can prop your camera up somewhere, just say, hey, most frequently asked question I get about becoming a promoter is, how much is it? Well, you guys, believe it or not, you can do it for free. You just have to click a button and shabam, you're a promoter. Now, my opinion is, you're going to do better if you're a thriver and you can tell people about what the product's done for you. So I do like to start people with a pack, but honest to goodness, you can just click it for free, right? That's an honest answer. And I did that really quickly. So that's my challenge to you, because those little snippets can become a highlight, because they're going to be a story. And then from there, they can be a reel. And I hope I didn't confuse you guys, but I hope I gave you lots of little hints and tips to to get all this stuff done during the day. Because I know a lot of us are hesitant to do reels, but your phone already has, I promise, your phone already has everything you need. And if you were like, no, I deleted it, that's okay. It's probably archived in your stories. Or like I know I have a Google backup where I can just, again, go in, I can search it by date. I can go in and find all the Thrive Palooza videos I've ever taken in the last 8 years, and I can whip them into a reel. I can go and find pictures from every local we've done for the last 8 years. You know, like it's all there. You just have to know where to find it. So that's it. Thanks for being here. We'll see you guys tomorrow with Jennifer and Courtney. Bye.